Brought to you by Pacific Points on a Monday morning at 8:13. Good morning, Jason.
All right, good morning, and good morning, Landon. Let's go all the way over to we stay in Teason from that last gentleman's call and everything like that. Landon, I got to ask you, I know you go into the office real early there at the NWS and everything like that, but are you already starting to see when you go in, in the wee hours of the morning, some of the effects of that traffic?
At 4 o'clock this morning and saw 4 cars out there just after 4 o'clock.
Wow.
So people are lining up, and that was much the case last year with Reverend Tax, with people lining up along Barrigada, and they were up there early in the morning. And I cannot imagine sitting in the car that long waiting to get stuff done. It's bad enough having to wait in line inside the building. So yeah, people are lining up early to get that initial test. And I just got a report from one of our forecasters coming through that intersection of the Barrigada post office. That stoplight is malfunctioning, so traffic is backed up in both directions.
We had a caller telling us about that
too. Yeah, so that's ongoing right now. So people are coming into the office late as usual. I'm just kidding. But watch out for that stoplight in Barrigada post office, National Guard.
Now, the only thing that
weather-wise, go ahead.
The only thing that can make it, and like I'm knocking on wood here, the only thing that could make like situations in Teagan maybe even like a little more intolerable is if the weather was not bad. And fortunately, that's not the case right now, and that's your wheelhouse and everything like that. So thank goodness the sun is out. It's a nice bright and shiny day, because gosh, my heart goes out to people who have to get tested and the people who work at the testing site when it's raining.
Yeah, I'm thinking back on Saturday. That was a phenomenal winter day on Guam. It was just nonstop rain, clouds, and winds. And so we're not seeing that today. We still have a little bit of stuff just south of us, but nothing significant. I'm going to turn my camera around so you can all see what we're looking at to start out this day. Much drier. You're seeing some clear blue skies up overhead right now as the clouds are pushing off just to our south and west. The axis of that shear line is pretty much phasing out, but it's still just south of us. So if it wobbles up a little bit northward, we could see more clouds and showers briefly throughout the day, but not anything like what we had on Saturday. So this is our current look at the radar. These butterfly wings, that indicates these stronger winds out over the waters, and that's been persisting for the last several days. Over the last days, we had sustained winds up to 23 miles per hour on Saturday, 28 miles per hour on Sunday, and 21 miles per hour on Friday. Those peak wind gusts we had on those days were 31 miles per hour on Friday, 33 on Saturday, and 32 on Sunday. So it has been blowing out there, especially if you're on the eastern side of the island, up in the hills, the plateaus, or on the waters, which we hope many of you were not in the waters because the waves were crashing over the weekend. So here's a visible satellite showing what we're looking at as the daytime comes around. Sorry for that feedback there, but that's our diffuse shear line hanging on for dear life right now. As it's going to be phasing out in the next day or so, with those remaining clouds and showers starting to fade out gradually. And that shear line goes well across the Western Pacific, Central Pacific, up to northwest of Hawaii. So that's impacting much of the ocean as that old cold frontal boundary. What do we have in store for the rest of the week? Well, let's go into the slides, Jason.
Gotcha.
Still, the season surf remain hazardous out there. High surf advisory remains in effect through this afternoon for north-facing reefs. There's a high risk of rip currents for north and east-facing reefs for those strong rip currents. Small craft advisory remains in effect for winds and combined seas greater than 10 feet. The Guam fire danger, of course, has taken a tumble over the weekend with the much-needed rainfall. We are down to moderate right now, but the week ahead, drier and warmer, and not anything to be excited about. It's just going to be warmer because we're going to have sunlight. Will we have another shear line this weekend? That's a possibility. So that might be more Friday. So it doesn't look as strong a signal as what we had for this last weekend event. For Micronesia surf
for whatever
advisories,
reason, they really seem to like our weekends. It's like we got good solid weather throughout the week, and then for whatever reason, like Saturday and Sunday are shear line days.
That's how it turns out. You think back to 2015 and 2018, a lot of our tropical cyclones, they were coming through on the weekends and ruining plans. And I used to joke with Josh Takiko at GVB in 2015. They kept having all these events planned throughout spring and early summer, and they had to cancel several of them because of tropical cyclones. So, as long as you keep planning events, we're going to have to keep canceling them. So
Yeah, don't say
Just
that
don't
too
have
loud, 'cause
events.
Carl Gutierrez, in charge of GBV, he's coming up next, so don't make him any more stressed.
Oh, good. Carl, you'll be fine. And we'll talk if you have any concerns. So give me a holler anytime, Carl.
Good to know.
Moving forward, just to hit up those hazards out there, the risk of rip currents is high, and also the hazardous surf, and that's for north-facing and east-facing reefs of Guam and the Sinai, and that's much as the case a week ago. For the current conditions, it is chilly out there this morning. It was 78 degrees here at the Guam airport in the last hour, 78 in Saipan, but the temperatures are going to be creeping up. Blustery winds out there, 18 gusts, 25 miles per hour at the 6 o'clock hour, and similar conditions in Saipan. Yesterday's rainfall was just over a quarter, so we're above normal for the month, which is great because, again, that's going to mitigate the fire danger, at least in the near term, as we go in toward the dry season. If you look at the chart on the right, this is the hourly observations from our airport observations. Look at those temperatures, 77 degrees at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, 77, 4 o'clock, 77, 3 o'clock. We had a peak or a maximum temperature that day of 81 degrees. Normal for this time of the year is 85. So it was a chilly day on Saturday. You did not want to be out in the water. And if you have friends and family in the States dealing with the snow across multiple states, let them know we feel their pain. I know it was down to 12 degrees in North Carolina. The next slide is going to show you exactly where we are. This is my dad on the right, making the most of his snow day in Elizabeth City. So they had anywhere between 4 and 8 inches of snow in Elizabeth City over the weekend. So I was actually toying the idea of flying over there, see the snow, and come right back. But I just had too much work to do this weekend.
With all due respect, Landon, to your family and everything like that, we've had them on the show. I mean, they're wonderful people. You guys are either incredibly brave or out of your damn minds.
I think it's a little bit of both. I think more for my dad, he's out of his mind. Brandon and myself were brave. And we'll stick with that. On the left side, this is my friend's photo from Carthage, New York. They had 17 inches of snow up there. So wow. Beautiful blizzard-like conditions. I experienced that once in northern Japan a number of years ago. My brother and I went there for a weekend ski trip. And it just happened to be a blizzard that weekend. And it couldn't have been a better situation for us. So we enjoyed it. Whiteout conditions. And that's the way I like it when I'm on vacation. The next slide showing the drought situation. We had some abnormally dry conditions creeping in across the Marianas. That is all gone because of the much needed rainfall this last week. Our fire danger is down to moderate, down from high a week ago, but we are watching drought, of course, in the easternmost islands across our region. And next slide showing the winds across the open waters. We still have that shear line just south of us. That's going to be fading out, weakening as it moves off toward the east and fizzling out. We are watching a circulation southwest of Palau. That's no threat to Palau or the Marianas Islands. That'll be going in towards Mindanao, bringing rainfall and thunderstorms there. So no tropical weather threats for us as we are in full-blown winter mode. And of course, the next slide will show the season surf out there. That is, of course, the threat that we have to deal with across the region for the next month or two with these shear lines and these boundaries coming across the North Pacific. Season surf will be elevated for the days to come. We are looking at 9 to 11 foot combined seas with surf up to around 10 feet along north and east facing reefs. So watch out if you're going to be near the coastlines, especially north and east facing. Stay out of the waters. When in doubt, don't go out. And if you want to swim at Tumon Bay, make sure there's a lifeguard on duty near the stand, because even close to the shore, those currents will be pretty strong in Tumon Bay.
And if it's 77 degrees, why would you anyway? That's crazy.
Yeah, especially when you get out of the water and the wind's blowing, you're going to feel a chill when you get out of that water. So watch out for that. For the week ahead, those clouds are going to be fading out throughout the day, becoming partly cloudy. Combined seas will be elevated today with the surf as well. Scattered showers will be tapering off, becoming isolated, but the winds will stay up. By midweek, much drier. It's going to be pleasant, warmer, sunnier. And by the weekend, we could see a little bit of a shear line on Friday. So watch out for that. Stay tuned to forecasts in the coming days. I don't see the strong signal for a major shear line event like what we had this last weekend, but we could see a little bit of a pulse of energy and an uptick in showers by the end of the week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so the most amazing thing to me is, like, again, you've and your predictions are always like spot on. The sun actually comes up at 6:48 on the dot. That is just crazy, having grown up here.
Yeah, and the days are getting longer, so yeah, more sunlight soon.
Yeah, it's like we start the show and Chris is like doing his like, good morning. He actually wakes the chickens up. They're not even awake.
I saw a joke about somebody sleeping in late, and it turned out they ate the chicken that woke them up. So it happens.
All right. Well, hey, we appreciate it, man. So if anything, we'll see you this weekend, and we'll probably see those shear lines again this weekend. But looks like a good week weather-wise.
Yeah, enjoy the weather. It's definitely going to be a breath of fresh air, so we can focus on other stuff. And God knows my desk is covered in other stuff to deal with. So,
well, it is a busy desk that indicates the productivity of a man. So we appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you, and have a great day.
All right, you too. Have a good weekend, and let us know if the traffic situation improves there through Teason and everything like that, because we've been getting reports about that traffic light and whatnot. So,
absolutely.
Okay. All right. Thanks a lot, man. That's Landon Aydlett, of course, with your work week weather forecast here on the link each and every Monday. It's brought to you by our friends at Docomo Pacific. Thank you to them for bringing you the very latest in weather. Chris, we have some tourism news coming up in the show.
Yeah, we do, Jake. Former Governor Carl